Hey, this is Russ. It's time for a knee update. Well, it's now 13 and a half weeks for me, and hasn't been that much change since the last report, really. I continue to keep working with my jazz units for helping my flexion and my extension. Now, I did do a quick measurement on my extension, and I'm telling you, it's very hard to measure the extension on your own because we're talking 1 or 2 degrees. Really, am I that accurate to be able to know, to be able to see that? So I'm measuring still between 8 and 10 degrees, depending on any given day that I take the measurement. So let's say it's 8 degrees. That would be a 2-degree improvement. I do feel that the extension is slightly better. I can't guarantee that, and I can't really measure it, so I'm only going based on how things feel, okay? The knee actually looks pretty much the same. I don't think it's changed too much, although the darkening, I'll show you an older photo here. I haven't taken the new photo yet, but I will do that when we actually hit 14 months, so that's just in a couple of weeks. The darkening of the scar on the top, the bottom part of the scar doesn't seem to be darkening, but the top part does. I think it's blood or something because it's you can see the outline of the actual cut, right? I think it's actually less now. And maybe it's because I'm not massaging it as much. I know that I used to always constantly be massaging my knee, and I don't seem to do that as much now. I mean, I rub it every now and then, but I don't rub it as hard. And maybe that's letting the blood go away more. I don't know. But it does seem to me to be a little bit less dark. Still there, but it's less. Okay. So the bending, I would say I'm at least 120. I was able to get some help from Jazz. I told them that I was maxing out the unit. I wasn't able to get any further with it. So they customized something for me again, and I'm able to go further now. In fact, I'm not maxing the unit out at this point, and it's giving me more ability to push harder. Okay. Now, the one thing that I did notice by doing that is because, again, as you're pushing on that, the cuffs that are being used, of course, push up against your muscles. And so I do feel my muscles being compressed. And so I don't find that I can hold on as long as I typically would have the other way. So that, in a sense, that's a good thing because that's telling me that it's pushing me to a level where I'm being pushed tighter, right? But the muscles are being pushed tighter too. So I end up having to let up after maybe 10, 15 minutes. After that, the muscles get pushed so hard that it's not really the knee that's hurting, it's the quad quad muscles that's hurting from being pushed. So but it is getting me more range, I believe. So I would say at least 120 at this point. Now, can it go further than that? Yeah, it might. But again, I'm thinking it's the quad muscles that is holding me back. So anyways, that's my updates. I continue to keep working on my stuff and trying to get myself a little bit more range. Let me say something too. I have gotten a couple of messages from some viewers, which was a little bit alarming to me. Some of you guys really sound like from the messages I'm getting is that you're giving up, and I want to tell you, don't give up. All right. If I would have gave up, I wouldn't be where I am at this point. Now I know that my range went backwards a little bit because I wasn't at physical therapy for well over 6 months now. And we had hit 130 degrees under screaming and pain. Okay. But today I'm not getting 130 because no one's pushing me that hard. I'm just being pushed by the Jazz unit, and I'm measuring about 120. I'm okay with that, but I'm still working on it. I mean, it's well past a year now, and I'm still working on it. I don't want to see you guys give up and say I'm never going to be able to do this anymore. I'm stopping. That's the end of it. Okay, because had I done that, I'd probably be at, if I would have gave up early, I'd probably be at about 100, maybe less. So my point is that if you give up, then yeah, you're not going to get it. And even if you get it, you could revert backwards. You have to keep exercising it, or you have to keep pushing it, because it will go backwards. If no one's doing that work for you, if you were going to physical therapy and you were getting it, then you stop the physical therapy, it's going to go backwards. You have to keep doing it, is the whole point. And so to read sometimes that some of you guys are discouraged so much that you're not going to continue trying, that weighs heavily on me because I look at this and I'm going, wow, you guys are reaching out to me, but you're telling me you're not going to do it. And I really feel bad when I read that. So let me encourage you to continue doing your physical therapy, continue doing your exercises. Now, you may look at my own situation and say, come on, Russ, you don't exercise that much. And that's true. I don't. I need to do more. I know that. But it's constantly on my mind to do it. I do a little bit here and there, okay? Because, life gets in the way. You got things to do. But I haven't given up yet, okay? So my point is keep going. Don't give up. Let me address another thing, too, about MUAs, okay? Manipulation under anesthesia, all right? You have a limited time window to get that done, all right? And I know that several of you have mentioned to me that you've been thinking about it or they've mentioned it to you, but you've held off on it, okay? If they're telling you you need to do it and you can see that your range is not that great, you got to do it. You can't wait too long either. You have a time frame to do it. If you wait too long, those scar tissues can set, in which case then even if they do it, it's not going to get you that much. So I think they told me within a month to 2 months maximum, something like that, is where they really want to do it, because then they have a better chance of breaking those scar tissues when they're working you in the operating room. If you're going past that time, you probably can get something. I'm guessing. I don't know. Okay, don't take my word for it. You probably can get something, but I'm thinking you're not going to get the range that you could have gotten had you done it earlier. All right. So, and I fully understand when you're telling me that you don't want to do it. I was the exact same way. I'm telling you, I fully understand what you're saying. I didn't want to do it either. It's scary, quite frankly, But I will say that without that MUA, actually I had two. Okay, I'll tell you about the second one in a second here. It really made a difference. Every time I went in, I got a little more range. Okay, now you don't get the same exact range that people say that you're going to get after you've done it. Okay, because I hit 130 after they did that, but I couldn't do that on my own. Okay, with the physical therapist, because now you're hurting when they're pushing it. When you're knocked down, you can't feel it. Yeah, they can push you to 130, no problem. Okay, but when you wake up and your knee and your leg is hurting from that, you're not going to allow them to push it past a certain level. So this is where you have to continue to keep working in physical therapy and on your own to increase the range so that it eventually gets back to that 130 that they got in the operating room. Okay. Now, the second MUA, I don't know if I was very clear before in my past videos. After I did the first one, I got decent range, and I think I went from the mid 70s. Everything's foggy to me now. I went from the mid 70s to the 90 ranges. So on the second month after the surgery, and I had the first MUA 1 month after, and then the second month after, I asked the doctor, what if we did it again? What if we did the MUA one more time? Would that give me back more range? And the doctor says, well, do you want to do it? I go, yeah, if it's going to do it. So we decided to go a second time. Okay. So actually, it wasn't from his prompting for the MUA. It was actually from me asking for the second MUA. After you go through it the first time, you realize, at least for me, okay, I'm not going to say everybody's is like the same, but after I went through it the first time, I realized that it wasn't so bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So I said, let's do it one more time. Let's see if that gets me a little more. And it did. It took me from the 90s to the 100s. And eventually, like I said, we hit 130 under screaming in pain. But I could easily hit 115, 120. After they've kind of warmed me up, I could pull back my own for about 115 to 120. So does it work? I would say yes, it does. Will it work for everyone? I can't say. I really can't. But I will say that it worked for me. And had I not done it a second time, I don't think I'd get to that level. So keep working at your range. Don't give up. Keep at it. All right. That's my encouragement to you for today. Anyways, that's about all I wanted to say. Give you a quick update. I will do another update, as we get closer to the 14-month time period. I am still stiff. My knee is still stiff every day. So when I wake up, I can feel it. I'm walking without the cane at home for a lot of the time now. I have gone outside without the cane as well. So it is getting better, but I still feel it. All right. I don't walk very well still. The stiffness is always, the thing that's holding me back, and I'm not extended to 0 degrees. So anyways, that's all I wanted to say. So I will talk to you guys next time. And if you like the video, do as always, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. See ya.